Moving into round 25 to get started on part 4. So I am on the wrong side of my project. I've got my hook in the top of my first double crochet of that round, as well as the loop from my pink yarn that I fastened off with. And I'm going to be attaching with green. I'm going to pull through all 3 of those loops to slip stitch. I'm going to pull my yarn, my pink tail, real nice and tight, and I'm going to chain 1 with both the tail and my new strand of yarn. Go ahead and drop the tail, and into these next 5 what is back post single crochets from our first, or back post double crochets from our last round, we're going to be doing 5 front post double crochets from the wrong side. So go ahead and yarn over, and you're going to do a front post double crochet around all 5 of those stitches. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, now we are going to be skipping the front post double crochets that we put around our puff stitch, and there was a chain space between those 2 front post double crochets when we were on the right side, and in that chain space we're going to put 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. Now those 3 double crochets in that chain space are going to complete our repeat. So let's go ahead and do it again together. We're going to do 5 front post double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Sorry about the thunderstorm, y'all. 4, and 5 front post double crochets. Remember, I'm on the wrong side of this project. And in that chain space between those 2 stitches that we wrapped around our puff stitch, we're going to put 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. And that's going to wrap up your repeat. At the end of this round, you're going to have 90 double crochets into these chain spaces, and you're going to have 150 back post double crochets when you flip it over to the right side. From the wrong side, it's obviously 150 front post double crochets. Moving into round 26, I am going to be attaching my pink yarn from the front side of this. So I stuck my hook into the top of what was my first stitch in the last round, and then I put my loop from my last stitch on the hook. Okay, and so I'm going to be grabbing my pink yarn, and I'm going to go through all 3 of those loops. Okay, pull your tail kind of tight, your green one, as we always do, and I am going to be doing a chain 1 with both my tail and my current yarn, and go ahead and pull that kind of tight. So these next 3 double crochets, we are going to be putting 2 front post double crochets around them. So go ahead and yarn over, go around the first one, and complete a front post double crochet. Okay, do that again. So a second one around that same front post double crochet, and let's do that again 2 more times. So a front post double crochet around that middle double crochet, and a second front post double crochet around that same stitch. Put your first front post double crochet around that 3rd double crochet, and our second front post double crochet around that post. So this is what it's going to look like. Now we are going to be skipping this first stitch here, and we're going to put 4 single crochets in the following 4 back post double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now we're going to repeat all of that. We'll do it one more time together and do our repeat. So 2 front post double crochets are going to go around all 3 of these for a total of 6 front post double crochets. So 1 and 2 around that first double crochet, and do 2 around that middle one, 1 and 2. Go ahead and do 2 around that last double crochet, and 2. So now we've got 6 front post double crochets there. We're going to skip this first stitch and do 4 single crochets into the next 4 back post double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so go ahead and repeat that around. At the end of this round, you're going to have 120 single crochets and 180 front post double crochets. Moving into round 27. So I have slip stitched into the top of that first front post double crochet at the end of the last round, and I'm not going to be attaching my new yarn into the same spot. I'm actually going to go backwards and into the back loop only of the first single crochet here. I'm going to be attaching my new yarn. Okay, so go ahead and back loop only. You're going to pull your new yarn. Okay, then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to be putting a single crochet into that back loop only, same stitch. Okay, now we're going to do a back loop only 3 more times, single crochet, 1, 2, and you'll notice I do crochet over this tail this round, and then 3, and now you're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, that's going to complete our repeat, but let's go ahead and do it together from start to finish. So in the back loop only of these 4 single crochets, we're going to skip all 6 of these front post double crochets, and we're going to we'll take our chain 4, and we're going to go into the back loop only of that first single crochet. We're going to put a single crochet, and we're going to do 3 more back loop only single crochets, so 2, for a total of 4, 3, and 4, and chain 4. And you'll skip all of these front post double crochets and repeat that all the way around, where all of your single crochets are going to be in the back loop only. You're just going to be putting 4 back loop only single crochets in the top of all of our 4 single crochets from the previous round. You're going to chain 4 and skip over those 6 front post double crochets. Okay, so repeat that all the way around. I'm not going to fasten off. I'm going to keep this color for my next round too. And at the end of this round, you're going to have 120 single crochets and 30 chain 4 spaces. Okay, moving on to round 28. So this round is going to be super simple. We are going to be working in both loops. We're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet. Maybe. All right. And you're going to chain 1 and put a single crochet back into that same stitch, as well as put a single crochet into the next 3. So you got your second single crochet, your third single crochet, and your 4th single crochet. So then in your chain 4 space, you're going to put 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that is the whole repeat. So let's do it one more time together. We're going to do 4 single crochets in the top of both loops of the previous round single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're going to put 4 single crochets over that chain 4 space. 2, 3, and 4. So repeat that all the way around. At the end of this round, you're going to have 240 single crochets. I have it listed down below next to the timestamp, but I believe it's 240 single crochets for this round. Moving into round 29. All right, so I've fastened off with my blue, and I'm in the top of the first of the 4 single crochets that we did a back loop only. And I'm actually going to slip stitch through that first one, okay, with the blue. And now I'm going to pick up my pink, okay, and I'm going to go into the top of the second single crochet, and I'm going to be slip stitching with that pink into the top of that second single crochet of the set of 4, okay. Pull your blue tail pretty tight, and then chain 1 with both your tail and your new pink yarn, and we're going to be putting a single crochet into that same stitch. And this will serve as our first stitch for our repeat. And then we're going to put a single crochet into the next 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2. So you're going to have 3 single crochets there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to drop down into the first front post double crochet of these 6 front post double crochets. So yarn over, and we're going to do a front post double crochet around that first one. All right. So it's going to go between those 2 front post double crochets together. All right, just like that. And now we're going to do 5 single crochets back into the blue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. 2, 4, 5. Okay. And now we're going to drop down into the 6th front post double crochet, and we're going to do a double crochet. All right. It's going to be a little tight. Then you're going to do 3 single crochets. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to do a front post double crochet around this first front post double crochet, okay? You're going to do 2 single crochets, so 1 and 2. Then in this next single crochet, you're going to do 2 double crochets, a chain 2, and 2 double crochets. So yarn over, do a double crochet, yarn over, go into the same stitch, do a double crochet, chain 2, go into that same stitch and do 2 more double crochets. So 1 and 2. Okay. I'm going to turn my work a little bit. Then we're going to do 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2. And now you're going to do a front post double crochet around the 6th front post double crochet from the row below. Okay. And that's going to be your repeat. So let's go ahead and do it together. We are going to right, so we're gonna do 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3. We're gonna do a front post double crochet around that first front post double crochet, 3 rows below. We're gonna do 5 single crochets into the blue row. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you're going to do a front post double crochet around that 6th front post double crochet in the pink row. Ooh, I missed my loop, my yarn over. You're going to do 3 single crochets again. So 1, 2, and 3. You're going to do a front post double crochet into the first front post double crochet in the pink round. Okay, then you're going to do 2 single crochets in the blue round, 1 and 2. And then you're going to do in this middle stitch here, or I guess the 3rd stitch around that chain 4 that we did, we're going to do 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. We're going to chain 2, and we're going to put 2 more double crochets in that same stitch. So 1, 2. You're going to put 2 single crochets into the blue row, 1 and 2. And then you're going to drop down into the 6th front post double crochet and do a front post double crochet. And that's going to complete your repeat. So go ahead and repeat that all the way around. At the end of this round, you're going to have 15 of these, what Anna calls the tops, and then you're going to have 60 front post double crochets. And for whatever reason, I do not have written down from my previous pattern these single crochets, but I will count them for you guys and pop them down in the by the timestamps, okay? All right, so to close out this round, I did end on a front post double crochet, and I'm going to be slip stitching into the top of my very first single crochet to complete this round. And I'm going to fasten off and I'm going to pull my yarn through, okay? And you might want to take a darning needle and pull that yarn back to the back and get. All right, we are moving on to round 30, and right out the gate we are going to be attaching our yarn as a back post single crochet. So go ahead and put your yarn around the first double crochet as if you were doing a back post single crochet or a back post stitch, okay? And that's how you're going to pull your new color of yarn, which I'm using blue, through the stitch, okay? And I'm going to chain 1 with both my tail and my new yarn. I'm going to drop my tail, and this is going to start our repeat right out the gate, okay? So go ahead and do a back post single crochet around that double crochet, okay? And you're going to do a back post single crochet around the next double crochet. It does not matter which top you attach to. I feel like somebody probably asked that. So now we're going to do a single crochet in the chain 2 space. Okay, we're going to do back post single crochets around the next 2 double crochets. 1 and picking up the wrong yarn. This is why I do not do back post normally. This round doesn't look right though if we do it from the wrong side. So we are going to be skipping this first single crochet, and you're going to be doing back loop only 17 single crochets, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6th back loop only single crochet is going to go into the top of a front post double crochet. 7, 8, 9, I'm going to turn my work, 10, oops, I picked up both loops, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Your 16th stitch is going to go into the front post double crochet that frames your next top, and your 17th will go in that next single crochet, and you're going to skip the last single crochet. And let's do that repeat one more time together. So a back post single crochet around the next 2 double crochets, 1, 2. We're going to do a single crochet in the chain space. We're going to do back post single crochets around the next 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. Okay, and now we are going to do 17 back loop only single crochets. We're going to be skipping the first and the last single crochet of these 19 stitches between your tops. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A pretty good rule of thumb is going to be that even numbered stitches of these 17 stitches are going to be going into the tops of those, or in the back loop only of those front post double crochets from the previous round. Okay, it's going to be 11. 12 is going to go into the top of a front post double crochet. 13, 14, 15, 16 into the top of that front post double crochet, and 17. And then you'll skip the next single crochet and start your repeat over again. Moving into round 31, I am sticking with blue for this round, and I'm going to slip stitch into the top of that first back post single crochet to close out my previous round. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to be putting a single crochet back into that same stitch. Okay. We're going to put a single crochet into the next back post single crochet, and we're going to skip the chain space. We're going to do 2 single crochets into the top of those back post single crochets on the other side. So 1 and 2. And we're going to do 2 half double crochets into the next stitches. So 1, we're going to go into the next stitch and do a second half double crochet. Okay, now you're going to skip 2 stitches and do a double crochet. So skip 1, 2, and go into the third and do a double crochet. Now we are going to be doing a cross double crochet, so we're going to yarn over and go into the stitch before that double crochet that we just did, and we're going to pull up our loop just a touch and complete our double crochet. Okay, we're going to do that 3 more times. So skip 2 stitches, go into the third, complete a double crochet, Then you're going to yarn over and go into the stitch before, pull up your loop kind of tall, and complete that double crochet. Let's do that again. Skip 2 stitches, go into the third, and put a double crochet there. Then you're going to yarn over and go into the stitch before that one, pull up kind of tall, and complete that double crochet. And this will be the last one. Skip 2 stitches, go into the third, complete your double crochet. And you're going to yarn over and go into the stitch before it and pull up kind of tall and complete your double crochet. All right, now we're going to skip a stitch, which is going to be this next one, and we're going to do 2 half double crochets. So 1, 2. Okay, and then you're going to repeat that all the way around. So that's what it looks like. You got 4 cross double crochets with a skip stitch between them, and then you have skip stitches on either side of those 4 cross double crochets. And we have 4 single crochets over our top. We're skipping that chain space single crochet, and then we have 2 half double crochets on either side of our crosses. So let's repeat together. Give me a second to turn my work. All right, so we're going to do single crochets, 2 of them. 1 and 2. Skip that single crochet in the chain space, do 2 more single crochets. 1 and 2. And then you're going to do 2 half double crochets. 1 and 2. And then you're going to skip the next 2 stitches, and you're going to do a double crochet in the third one from your hook. Yarn over and go into the stitch before that one. Excuse me. Pull up your loop kind of tall, maybe, and complete your double crochet. We're going to do that 3 more times. Skip 2 stitches, so 1, 2, go into the third, complete a double crochet, yarn over, go into the stitch before it, pull up your loop kind of tall, and complete your double crochet. Skip 2 stitches, go into the third, complete a double crochet. Then you're going to go into the stitch before it, pull up your loop and make it kind of tall, and then complete that double crochet. Do that 1 more time. Skip 2 stitches, go into the third, complete a double crochet, yarn over, you're going to go into the stitch before it, pull up your loop kind of tall, and complete that double crochet. Then we're going to skip a stitch and do 2 half double crochets. 1 and 2. And that's going to complete your repeat. So go ahead and complete that all the way around. At the end of this round, you're going to have 60 of these cross double crochets. You're going to have 60 half double crochets and 60 single crochets. And I'll meet you at the end. All right, moving into round 32, this is going to wrap up this part. What are we on? Part 4. And so I'm going to slip stitch into the top of my first single crochet from the previous round using pink. I've already fastened off with blue, and I'm going to pull that tail with the blue pretty tight. And we are going to be chaining one second, with both our tail and our new yarn. Okay, go ahead and drop that tail, and you're going to be putting a single crochet into that same stitch. Okay, you know that the first one always gives me a problem. Okay, so then you're going to do single crochets all the way to this half double crochet here. Okay, so do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you should have 6 single crochets to get started. Now let's go ahead and start our repeat. Okay, we're going to do a single crochet on the side of these cross double crochets, and then we're going to put a single crochet between them and repeat that. You should have 9 single crochets once you get done putting single crochets between your cross double crochet sets and in the middle of them. Okay, it's going to be 4. 5 is going to be in the very center of all 4 of your sets. And 6 in the middle, 7 between, 8 in the middle, and 9 to frame those. So it should look like this. So you've got 9 single crochets so far. All right. You are going to skip this first half double crochet, and then you're going to do 7 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, my yarn got a little trapped, 6, and 7. That's going to take you back to our cross double crochet section. So let's do it one more time together. You're going to frame each of the cross double crochets and put a single crochet in the middle of those cross double crochets. So let's do 9 of those. 1 single crochet, 2 is going to go in the middle of those double crochets. You're going to put 3 between your clusters. Your 4th one will go in the middle of the second set of double or cross double crochets. Your 5th one will be in the very middle of all 4 sets. 6 is going to go in the middle. 7 will be between the clusters. 8 is going to go in the middle. And 9 will finish it to frame all of those cross doubles. So then you're going to skip the first half double crochet, it's kind of hidden anyways, and do 7 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 completes our repeat. So at the end of this round, you're going to have 135 single crochets that go around all of your stitches here in between the cross doubles and in the middle of them, and then you're going to have 105 single crochets. So total you're going to have 240 single crochets at the end of this round. And I will link part 5 at the end of this. Thanks so much for tuning in for part 4. I look forward to doing part 5 together.